What's up? My name is Ken Bimbo, the MC with the sauce. Don't forget to subscribe to J. Cool.
Fellow Zambian citizens, good morning to you today. So, like they say, when an elephant dies, the story in the village is about that elephant. You know, this morning, very quickly, as you continue to have a conversation around the intention by UPND to amend constitution, I want you to look at this angle, all right? I am not saying I'm the authority on issues of constitution amendments, but I just want you to be very open-minded as you discuss the constitution and to, interrogate every issue very objectively here without political lenses, as simply patriotic Zambians. All right. So there's been an argument as to why the UPND have not published the entire list of whatever it is that they want to amend the constitution. They've left that issue very cagey. All right. Very hidden. Nabakwataka secret. Tapali ulelanda. All that we have heard is Hamasaka, the presidential spokesperson, is saying there's a draft constitution, But President is confirming there's a draft constitution. I think you saw in Mongo, he even raised a document that no, there's a draft. Meanwhile, those who are talking, they have not even read this draft. Meanwhile, Vakasune, who is Minister of Justice, the owner of the process, came on TV on Sunday interview and said there's no draft constitution. So the biggest problem to Kwete in this debate is that we are debating from without. The UPND have not provided a list of what they want to amend. The only two things they've spoken to, number one, that they want to create more constituents through delimitation. All right. Now, why they are using delimitation? Number one, they want to excite all of you that to put out a constituent so that we can give you more CDF. Interestingly, today people think that development can only come through CDF. Development, CDF is simply a supplementary to development. Okay? Nobody should lie to you that development can only come through CDF. CDF 16 million. Okay? So, they are using delimitation to cover you up. But no, to pangyama constituent so that we bring more development to you. Secondly, they've spoken about proportionate representation. Proportionate representation, very simply. The electoral system we have today in Zambia is what they call the first past the post. Uakwatama votes ayengi is the one that is declared as a winner in an election. That is a system we call the first past the post. It means that in Nkana, ualakwatama votes ayengi ewalaba MP. It is justifiable that when you increase AMA constituencies, in all those constituencies, those people in those created constituencies will also be able to elect their own MP under the system of first past the post. The one oyo to bomfiadelo, the one who has more votes is the one who gets to be elected as MP or declared as MP. That's one thing. Now, when you talk about proportionate representation, the story or the example of what goes on in South Africa. South Africa, proportionate representation means when you go into the elections, you will not be electing MPs. You will not even be electing councillors. You will not even be electing the president. You will be electing political parties. Proportionate representation means you will not be electing MPs, councillors, mayors, even the president. South Africa, the president is elected by parliament. Now, what happens in a proportionate representation is that the political party that gets the votes, so kula batinga mwapendama votes, over UPND bakwata 40%. It means that by UPND balakwata 40% members of parliament in parliament. Munevovona landa tefyo, abakwata 20%, balakwata 20% of MPs in that parliament. It means like today, tuakwata ma seats are the 156. It therefore means that mwebena Matelo, mwebena Lundazi, mwebena Nkana, mwebena Buzakile, mweba Kushiwangandu, mweba Kulumezi, those of you in Shiangombo, you will not be able to directly elect an MP mwebene, but you'll be electing a political party. So when you do the elections and the election results are announced and they say UPND has got 40%, it will be 40% of the 156 constituencies. So it means that you do 40%. What is 40%? You can say 40% of the 156 quickly. You will say 40 divided by 100 times 156. Mwala kwata 62 MPs. By UPND nishwala kwata 62 MPs out of the 156. So mna parliament mulia bala tumakwa abantu abali 162. Or rather 62 MPs. Aba kwata seba PF bakwata 40% or rather 20%. It means that PF bala kwata 20 divided by 100 times 156. When bala kwata 31. When now these political parties sit, eba kasara nombo kwebati out of these 62 MPs, wala bakunkana ifwe nyuyu wala bokunyu abene bala mipela abakula mistari present mu parliament not ukutira mwebene ba constituency seba nkana nangu ba chamboli oba dada babuzakire nangu ba Matero. You will not be the ones to elect your own representative. It is the political party that will give you your representative out of the number out of the figures, or rather the percentage of votes they got in the election. When this now is done, the MPs will go to parliament in their proportions, and they are the ones who are now going to elect the president. So why would we then marry proportionate representation and delimitation? The idea is, let us increase more constituencies so that when they say 40%, we have gotten 40% of the votes. It won't be 40% of the existing 156 constituencies. It will be 40% of the increased number of constituencies arising from the delimitation. It therefore means that mwebena Zambia, ichimule supporta blindly. You actually be taking a makabala mipoka to elect your own MP. A makabala mipoka to elect your own councillors. A makabala mipoka to elect your own mayors. Na makaya kusala president bala mipoka. How then does this work? Well, does this work for the UPND? Today we know that the UPND cannot even get 50+1. All right, which is why they will not even temper with a 50+1. They are just interested in those two issues: proportionate representation and delimitation. That is enough for them, because it actually answers the puzzle of are we able to get 50+1? They don't need it. Because a proportionate representation is a system, an electoral system, where you as citizens will not be electing the president, will not be electing the MPs, will not be electing your mayors and councillors. It is the political parties that will be deciding who is going to be your councillor, who is going to be your mayor, who is going to be your MP, and who is going to be your president. It means the president will not be elected by you, the people. It is parliament that is going to elect the president. I just want you to have this perspective as you discuss the amendment or the intention to amend the constitution. Go and read and come back and tell me what proportionate representation means. If we to a different electoral system, the first past the post. Alright, uakwata mavota yengi ewa wina. Proportionate representation ipusheni aba pa South Africa efichitika. Aba the South Africans are not the ones who vote for the president. Aba vota president ku South Africa ni ba MP. Aba vota ma MPs ni ba political parties. By way of their proportion, how many votes by percentage did they get in the election? So in short, people in a proportionate representation electoral system, people vote for political parties and not for individual representatives. Now, there are other systems where they will use other models, like I think in Kenya, where they just pick regional MPs. They will say kopa beo twala kwata umwana kashino umwaume. So you will have to elect besides the MPs for constituencies, you also have to elect what they may call provincial MPs. But when you say we want a proportionate representation system, electoral system, it means what happens in South Africa. But you know what they've not been able to do by UPND is to clearly state what do they mean by proportionate representation, which is why it is very dangerous to be discussing electoral reforms, to be discussing constitutional reforms without clearly stating what you mean when you say delimitation. What constituencies are you going to delimitate? And on what basis? Are you going to use geographical size, or are you going to use the normal population size? When you say proportionate representation, what are you, implying? Okay? Are you going to adopt the system in South Africa, or are you going to adopt the system? Minus that information, we can only conclude this is what they want to do. So this morning, I just wanted to give you that perspective as you discuss this issue of the constitutional amendment, so that we are now sitting on the table to look at what exactly are the UPND trying to do. Minus this information, we are going to walk into a trap. And mairobane tukesaisanga muri mwamonene. What I do is always to open your minds, but what I invite is for you to start now having a conversation on these very important issues. Some of you are going to insult me, but you see, it won't change the color of my skin. It won't bring the hair, or rather, it will still make me, or I'll still remain Binwell Mpundu, Member of Parliament for Nkana, until that time. It won't change anything, but what I am doing is basically to enlighten me that, wait a minute, look far and beyond your bellies. Look far and beyond the little one kwacha they are giving you. The consequences of amending the constitution without you understanding exactly what they want to do, or the lacunas they want to address, or whatever they want to fix that is wrong in the constitution, you are going to walk into a trap they've set for you. It is up to you to start having this conversation.
Thanks for tuning in to JCO News. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the latest updates on tech, politics, and everything in between. Until next time, stay cool.